Sweeney here, and welcome to Friday Reload number 14. Now, we try to keep it short and sweet with just the meat. Now, what I actually mean by that is we cut through the fluff of what happened during the week. So we're summarizing the best posts, news, videos, everything that happened in the week. We get you caught up on it, and we get you ready to go with the Friday Reload. So that way you don't have to worry about keeping up with 30 different blogs and all these different email lists. You don't have to do that. Instead, you check out the Friday Reload, whether you read it, you watch it, or you listen to it. We get you caught up on what you need to know, and we keep you informed. So some of the big stories in number 14 are Facebook day parting, and ironically, I wrote day partying in the actual image. The number one technique for growing an email list, Google's evil Pigeon, and big Twitter ad update. So a lot of fun headlines for this one. I'm going to have to fix that image, but no worries. Let's kick it off. So the first story is podcasting like a professional and high touch conversions. So we created a free cheat sheet, just so you guys know, that focuses on the 2 tricks to instantly have better audio and high touch conversions. So these were 2 of the takeaways that we had with this interview with Spencer Shaw. And Spencer Shaw comes to us from Podkick, and he also has his own podcast, the Business Growth Podcast. He gave us a lot of great insights on the entire podcasting process. I mean, if you're considering doing a podcast or you do any kind of audio recording, video, anything where you are recording audio, you definitely need to check it out. He shares one audio trick that I'd never heard before, and one of the best parts about the trick is that it's very simple, and it's using a free program, but it can help produce stellar audio. We also talk about one of the biggest fears that most people have of starting a podcast, which is getting guests. So we talk about how he reaches out and how he books them, and how he finds his own special, unique guests. He also goes into some of his own high-touch conversion tricks, which are some cool different tactics you can use for warming up leads or converting leads on high-ticket sales. Next up, we have the evil pigeon. So if you can't see the picture, it's evil and it's pointing at a pigeon. No disrespect to the pigeon. So the Google local update, or the pigeon update, or what I like to call it, the evil pigeon update. Now, this has been extremely disruptive. I'm sure you've heard about it a little bit. And I didn't want to ignore it, but I also don't want to spend too much time on it. Now, the reason why is because we've been seeing so many contradicting reports about the changes and the results. It really seems like there's been so much shakeup from it that we're still figuring out what it actually caused and what actually happened. So in the meantime, your kind of quick update on it, besides the map pack that we've heard about, video snippets and everything, Moz reported that they lost video snippets, but they also said that they had an increase of 10% for organic traffic to those video URLs. So these video URLs originally had video snippets, lost the video snippets, but saw an increase in the organic traffic. So that's kind of weird. We've also seen the removal of the authorship images, but I've heard that they're still around if you're on Google Plus and if you're logged into Google Plus. So I mean, this whole thing has just been quite a mess. Now, as we have discussed it a few times, I did kind of want to bring up one other thing that I found this week that was kind of interesting. Mike Blumenthal, I hope I pronounced that right, mentioned that it seems like the local boundaries have been adjusted. So thus the map packs and the search results have been affected. So one of the examples is Jewelry Buffalo. So I'm pretty sure the search is Jewelry Buffalo, and the search radius used to have a diameter of 12 miles. Now it only has one of 6 miles. Now, one of the sites in questions, I don't know if he works with them or what his affiliation with them is, but Barbara Oliver lands right outside of that 6-mile radius, but within that 12-mile radius. So you can imagine how that might affect them. Now, here's the weird thing. They have good organic results that have shown up above the pack. So now that there's less pack results, their organic results are showing up more. And I think they've actually, I don't think they've increased their traffic, but they've increased quality of user or something to that effect. It's pretty weird, pretty interesting mix-up, I have to say. Now, one thing that has surfaced in this entire fallout is the importance or benefit of local review sites. So, Local Visibility System has a post called Industry Specific Local Review Sites, the Definite List. So niche sites, they're saying their niche review sites are extremely underrated and you're crazy not to try to get reviews there. They go on to mention that sites such as Avio, Dealer Rater, and Health Grades rank very well in Google's organic results. And I'm sure we all know about Yelp. So they did everyone the favor of compiling a spreadsheet of a list of all the sites. And this also includes the industry, so real estate, health, dining, auto, law, etc. And additional notes. Is it paid? Is it Australia? Is it, United Kingdom? Is it England? All these different things. And they're giving it away for free. They're not even asking for an email opt-in. So if you head over to the blog, digitaltriggers.io/Friday-reload-14, you can easily find that link. There's, of course, a link to the blog post in the description. So head over there. There's a link to their page, and you can easily get that review spreadsheet. I mean, hey, that's if you got to look at the positives that come from this whole shakeup and how you can still benefit from it. Now, oh, and by the way, it includes 95 different sites. So, I mean, it's literally a bare bones Google spreadsheet doc, but 95 sites on it. Next up, we have Facebook ad scheduling, or day parting, is finally here. So Facebook ad scheduling, also commonly known as day parting, is finally here and available in the Power Editor. So if you're a heavyweight marketer, you know about day parting. Day parting is huge to you. When you're spending tens of thousands of dollars, or in these higher amounts, a 10% change this way or that way is a huge difference for your campaign. So what a lot of these guys were doing is, they'd set their ads to run at certain times. So maybe, in the wee hours, say from midnight to 7 a.m., you're not running any ads on Facebook. Well, originally, the only way you could do that was through a different Facebook tool. For example, Kawaya, which starts at around $150 a month and up. And there's other different options. So basically, you had to pay for it. Now you can finally do this within the Ads Manager, well, the Power Editor, actually, the Facebook Power Editor. So it's pretty nifty, pretty cool. You can select the hours and the days that you'd like ads to run for. The interface is pretty simple, pretty easy to use. Now, I do want to mention that in reading comments and kind of keeping up with it, it seems like there's some kinks that still need to be worked out. So the problem is the way the budgeting is set up and the way the time zones are set up, it's still causing some problems. Daniel wrote in one of the comments, Daniel.cinco, he commented that day parting schedule is per viewer users time zone, not funding instruments time zone. So you're still going to need to be observant of the hours you select. So like I said, they're still kind of working the kinks out. It seems like it's still a little rough, so I wouldn't just set it and forget it, and oh, day parting, everything's great. I would set it and still be on top of it, but hey, at least it's here and it's coming. So we also have a video on the blog, which is a walkthrough from Ben Atkins. Short little 4-minute video, gets you caught up, shows you exactly how to use it. While we are on ads, guess who just beefed up their ad? Twitter. Twitter ads just got much easier with a new ads interface. So Twitter just announced on Thursday their new objective-based campaigns, reportings, and pricings. Now the goal that they have is to make it easier for advertisers to create and optimize successful marketing campaigns and pay for only the actions that are aligned with their marketing objectives. Now, if you're seeing this image, you're going to laugh. I'm going to describe it to you in case you can't. You can select the campaign objective. I want more followers, website clicks or conversions, tweet engagements, app installs or app engagements, or leads on Twitter. And then they give you an option if you don't want objective-based campaigns, you can create a custom campaign. I gotta say, this looks extremely similar to Facebook. Do you want more page likes? Do you want more website clicks? Or do you want more engagement? But hey, if it works, don't break it, right? Now, currently they say that it is available in beta to SMBs and API partners globally, and they'll be rolling it out via invitation over the next few months. But definitely good things to come. Now, next up, we have one of our lead stories, I would consider it, and this is the #1 technique for growing an email list using a blog. So I've been following Brian Harris and Video Fruit for a little while now, and I've implemented a few of his tactics, namely the pop-ups and content upgrades, and I've had great results with them. So originally he had a blog post where he was showing how to set up and how to build content upgrades, but you might be asking yourself, what is a content upgrade? So recently highlighted in an episode of Smart Passive Income with Clay Collins, content upgrades are lead magnets that are specific to a blog post. So Clay Collins, the founder of Lead Pages, also credits them as being one of the best ways to collect emails. Now, Video Fruit says that he normally sees opt-in rates of 20 to 30% and as high as 62% when he uses them. So we also have an example of our blog. So if you've been on our blog recently, you might have seen, for example, the one I mentioned at the top of the hour. You'll have something like featured bonus or bonus. And what it is it's a lead magnet. And you'll have it maybe at the top and usually at the bottom as well. And what someone does is they click on this link. And once they click on a link, a pop-up will come up. Now, typically using LeadBoxes from Lead Pages or SumoMe also works very well, and I like their system for it. And basically, you enter your email, you get free instant access to whatever this little pop-up is. Your email gets captured, the content upgrade gets sent. So two other blogs are doing it very well are ConversionCast and Video Fruit, of course. So creating the content upgrade isn't too hard, but figuring out what the content upgrade should be can be. So that's why in his most recent post, Brian focuses on 11 ways to turn readers into email subscribers, outlining different content upgrades you can create. So we're going to jump into these 11 different types of content upgrades. Now the key is making sure the upgrade complements the post and is highly relevant. Once again, remember, the reason why we're doing this is because it's the best way to collect emails. You know, Video Fruit mentions he gets opt-in rates of 20 to 30%, as high as 62% of them. And while it does take more time, I mean, really, why are most of us creating content? Because we want to capture leads, you know, we want to have a captive audience, and ideally we'd like to sell them something if it makes sense. You know, you're listening to this podcast, at some point I'm probably going to try to sell you something. It's not a big surprise. And it's the same way with your readers, especially if you are into content marketing, you know how long it can take to create this content. So you're expecting something in return. Anyways, the 11 different ways. #1, a checklist version of the post. #2, a package of relevant links. #3, a how-to video. #4, a Q&A video. #5, a PDF version of the post. #6, a mini video course. #7, the exact scripts that you used. #8, swipe file. #9, templates. #10, software giveaways. I'm sorry. And #11, time with you. So once again, content upgrades, yes, they do take more time, but they are certainly worth it. You also might be wondering, what happens for people that are already part of my email list? Well, the honest, raw answer is currently there's no real positive, great solution. What Brian does, Brian Harris of Video Fruit, is he has his membership site. So as long as you've opted in once, you basically sign up for the membership site, and it's free. And that's where you can go into any of his lead magnets, any of his content upgrades, and you don't have to worry about opting in again. You can find them all in this easy-to-access location. Now, for most people, the time and effort of setting up a membership site, if you've never done it, a bit difficult. But the reality is most people don't mind opting in again. The nice thing with something like LeadBoxes is it kind of cookies their email, so it's very easy to just opt in again, and you get the thing. It sends you an email, no problem, no harm. especially as long as the person who's doing it, you want to have your email sequence set up correctly. So you want to just send them that content upgrade. You don't want to be sending them your full welcome sequence every single time they get an email. Now, next up, keeping in the similar kind of subject, we have LeadBoxes Roundup, our top 10 favorite LeadBoxes for July. So we're on basically this subject of LeadBoxes and email captures. So that's why I've included the Roundup. It's a good swipe file. I mean, you can let your lead magnet ideas flow looking at these kind of things. And a few of my favorites, so let's kick it off. The first one is the WordPress content contest creator. I'm sorry, bad cough. So what it is a free demo software. So on the left there's a button to try the demo. On the right there is a buy now button. When you click the try the demo button, a lead box pops up. Pretty cool use. You don't normally see this, kind of with software. So I like that. I like that a lot. I mean, capturing leads is still important even though you're in software. Next up, another one that I like, Pat Flynn. He was using it on his podcast player release. So he had a kind of traditional launch style page, really. There was some information about it, a demo. You can sign up for more information, not to miss the public release. Most people would use a launch page, which is a bit more simplistic. Pat did not, and Pat also used the lead box. Now the last one, this one is Chronicles of Strength. So this is a free kettlebell ebook. And what's cool about this is when you click on the lead box pop-up, it offers an additional bonus of 4 free videos. So in the beginning, it is just a ebook. But when you click on it, it goes, hey, you're also going to get the 4-part video series. So a few different ideas, cool different uses of it. I really like them. Next up, we're going to shift gears a bit. All this talk of Twitter and Facebook, let's not forget about LinkedIn. So they're slowly rolling out their header images for profiles. So I didn't know about this. I'm curious, did you guys know about this? Tweet me at DigTrig. Let me know, did you guys see any of these LinkedIn profile header images? Because I have to be honest, I've not seen these. I don't know if I'm late to the trend or if Social Media Examiner is really just up on it. So what these look like, they basically just look like the same thing you've seen on Google+, Facebook, Twitter, these big, beautiful cover photos. Now, if you have them right now, they're rolling them out to premium accounts have them, and they're slowly rolling them out for everyone. And LinkedIn offers 25 different stock images that you can use. I'm really sorry about that cough, guys. But, of course, we don't want to use a stock image. We're going to want to customize it. So the image size is 1400 by 425, and you're going to make sure that you have a high resolution and that it's under 4 megabytes. Now, the same rules for any kind of profile creation apply. You want your image to help people understand what you do and how well you do it. So, I mean, if whatever your main thing is, whatever your niche is, you want to promote that. If you're offering client services for YouTube videos, you want something that says that and says it loud. You want to make it kind of obvious, this is what I do, and you want it to be professional and look nice. Now, sure, it can be a little bit silly and fun, don't get caught up on that, but really you want people to know what you do and what you do fast. Anyways, enough time on that. Next up, tool time. So this week we have 4 different little tools. The first is Social Rank 2.0. So this is considered graph search for Twitter. So their tagline, Social Rank is the easiest way to identify, organize, and manage your followers on Twitter. So reading a bit deeper into this, what they actually focus on helping users discover is which followers are the most valuable, so the ones that are most in demand, the most engaged, so who's engaging with you the most, and the best followers. So this is someone who's the most valuable and the most engaging. It also pulls up a few different stats. So what it does is it pulls in all of your followers for free compared to just top 10 before, which is what you're limited to in the first version. So that's why the 2.0 is so important. Now you can also filter your followers by bio keywords, location, verification, activity, and more. Lastly, once you've sorted and filtered, you can save searches automatically updated when someone new follows you that fits into that query, export them to Twitter, and export them to a CSV file. So Facebook graph search for Twitter. I mean, it's pretty big deal. A lot of brands, big brands, are jumping on this. If you're doing some Twitter stuff, this is big for you. You should definitely check this software out. Next up, we have two different softwares that easily create beautiful mockups. So the first one is Placeit. Now, Placeit has over 413 different placing options, including even motion videos. So you can have a live action video of, you know, someone, say, scrolling on an iPhone, and it's your article or it's your software, something to that degree. That being said, they do charge a very modest fee. I think it's around $20 a month for like a very small account, but they have, I mean, they really do 15 different videos, 327 different still shots, I mean, interactive videos, all these different things. And then you also have Frame. So Frame is free. And what Frame is it's awesome product shots. So you have different shots. I mean, the one they have the most up is just Apple on a desktop, like an Apple laptop and an Apple iMac. They also have an iPad, a iPhone, an Android phone, a tablet Android, and tablet other, which I imagine is probably a Windows tablet. So whether it's your website or software or maybe an ebook, or heck, I even did it with our podcast in the sidebar, as you may have seen, you can create these pretty easily and pretty quickly. So pretty cool little service, pretty cool little software. And hey, this one you really can't argue with because it's free. Next up, we have Wunderlist 3. So Wunderlist recently got an update, and they've become even more mobile friendly, including real-time sync in the most recent update. Now, this is arguably one of the best quote-unquote list apps, or, you know, to-do list apps around. I don't quite feel right, you know, calling it just a to-do list, even though I'm sure that's what most people use it for. Currently, I use to manage my projects Basecamp, and I use Evernote. So I'm not using Wunderlist right now. I have used it in the past, though. If you are looking for some sort of to-do list type solution, check it out. I mean, as I say, Wunderlist for work, home, and play. Accomplish more during your day. Nice little tagline. You can share lists. You can collaborate with friends and family. So maybe you and your wife with grocery shopping, you can have a combined list. So whoever ends up at the grocery store, you can have comments and conversations. I mean, there's really a lot going on here. I gotta say, I do like it. I mean, if you just start getting groceries, you don't need to use Basecamp to get groceries, right? But you also don't need to use Evernote. But Wunderlist, I think, is that right in between. Next up, we have how to use rich content to grow your SaaS product. So this is a guest post by on Roujum, rather, and this is my first time hearing of Roujum, by Will Fraser of Referral Sasquatch. Get it? Software as a Service, Squatch, Sasquatch? I don't know. I thought that was great. And he covers creating rich content to grow your SaaS product. Now, though the ideas can be used in any market. So, yes, they say SaaS product, but hey, growth is growth. So a few of the key insights that I really liked. Create interactive content. Broadly, interactive content is calculators, quizzes, free tools, and other things of that nature that users can interact with instead of just read, which was said by Matt Great. Now, simply put, to summarize the article, tools work extremely well as content. Things like calculators, analysis tools, and quizzes. So first off, calculators. Calculators make it easy to answer specific questions and provide actionable next steps. They don't have to solve crazy problems, but instead simply help customers with key questions related to your product or market. So when you are creating your calculator, keep these in mind. Solve the key question that people are asking themselves before they use your product. Keep it simple. You don't need to do a lot. You just need to answer a real question. Next, make it embeddable and shareable. If someone likes your calculator, you want them to spread your brand far and wide. Now, this one might be a little bit more open to debate. One of the better examples is the XE currency calculator. Now, back in the day, before you could do a Google search and get the answer, XE built a very simple calculator that answered a basic question. You know, how much is this dollar worth in euro, and vice versa. So it was only natural after trusting the calculator that people started to do foreign exchange with this company. We also have analysis tools. So these are usually a bit more complex, and QuickSprout is pretty well known for these. So they solve more advanced problems, but they can build a stronger bond and kind of a stronger buzz and walk clients further towards a purchase decision. So, you know, just saying how much the conversion, this is pretty simple. Whereas Neil Patel's QuickSprout tool tells you answers about your website traffic and what your competitors' traffic is like. You know, your speed score, your SEO score, all these different metrics, which perfectly fits into, hey, you're having a problem with traffic? Guess who can help you out? Another great example that I like of this, and it was originally on the Friday Reload number 5. So throwback to Friday Reload number 5, the Facebook ROI Calculator by I Am Scalable. So what it does is it takes your monthly revenue goal, your customer value, your conversion rate, and your monthly ad budget. It calculates it, and then what it does is the secret sauce. This is what I really like. So if you have a profitable campaign, it says you'll need how many clicks per day to make it profitable, how many per click, and you should expect this many sales per month. It says below it, and it's all in red, it says you rock. This campaign, it's all in green. This campaign is highly likely to be profitable. We would love to have you as a client. Click here for our case studies. So if someone's doing good with their Facebook ads, hey, we can help you even more. Check out our case studies of how we've helped people even more. Next up, when the campaign is likely to be unprofitable, they offer tips to improve. It's in red. There's a flag. Warning, this scenario is likely to be an unprofitable campaign. Click here for tips to improve. So how perfect. It's almost a customer, lead qualification service for them. Hey, will you work for us as a lead? Yes or no? No, but hey, here's some tips to improve. Really good calculator. I like that way that works. They also go on to mention that rich media, rich content such as audio and video can establish deeper relationships with the potential consumer. Now, it's more memorable than text. It's easy to consume and easy to share. So you can easily create an audio version or video version of a post. Next up, we have the 7 marketing tactics that increase my growth by 679%. Coming to us from QuickSprout. So QuickSprout has a lot of great posts. These next 2 are by them. We're not going to dig into them deep. Instead, we're just going to extract the gems. So the gems of this one, number 1, reverse your funnel. So with HelloBar, what they did was instead of having them sign up for the product first, and I've actually gone through this process, you put in your URL, you install the product, and then you sign up. So after they've already gotten you, that's when they go, hey, by the way, you got to set up an email and a password. And of course you're going to at that point, right? You've already seen the goods and you're already that deep down. As a result, they increased email signups by 52%. The 4th strategy they mentions is quizzing your visitors. So quizzes engage your visitors and convert them into customers. Another great example really, is a tool by Crew called How Much to Make an App. For Neil's lead generation sites, he said it's helped him increase the number of leads by 281%. Some of his tips: limit your quiz to only 5 questions. For each question, limit the number of responses to 4. And lastly, add images when possible. So we also have what I learned about guest posting from blogging at Entrepreneur Magazine, TechCrunch, and Mashable. So this is another Neil Patel guest. This is another Neil Patel post, and this one's focusing on guest blogging. Number 1, relevancy is more important than traffic. Small relevant niche blogs such as Moe's will outperform lead generation compared to bigger blogs such as Huffington Post. Lesson number 2, pick blogs based on engagement. So if you're looking to drive revenue from guest posts, really sorry guys, focus on writing for niche blogs. The readers will be more likely to convert because they are more engaged. They are also more likely to share and comment. So make sure that you're engaging with these comments and that you're being active on your posts. Number 3, don't guest post for SEO. Avoid using these really keyword-rich anchor texts. Not good. Number 4, guest post to establish authority. If you surround yourself with other writers who are known experts, you'll start to be seen as an expert as well. Lesson 5, love thy partner. So I actually created that title for that one. So Neil found that guest posts on partners blog, so someone they had integrations with SoftwareWise, for example, led to drive more signups and revenue than guest posting on any other channel. Now lastly, there's 2 good posts I want to bring attention to, but I'm not going to focus on very much. The first is Unbounce, and this is how to use the 6 principles of persuasion to create landing pages that convert. So it's a good post. It's focusing on using those 6 principles from the book Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion. It's a great post. I'm not going to break it down into detail because this post is good for someone who's looking for the icing on the cake or the sprinkles. If you don't have a landing page, don't worry about this. Don't overwhelm yourself. If you do have a landing page, you've already tested it or optimized it a little bit, this is a really great way that you can find some tweaks that you can probably make to your landing page that can create some huge improvements. So check that out if that is you. Now next up we have Launching with Social, a study of what works and what does not. So Michael, founder of Social Media Examiner, recently launched a new podcast, My Kids Adventures Parenting Adventures Podcast. So really good post that's it's actually a podcast, but he also talks about it a little bit in the post. It's worth checking out to see how he leveraged his current audience with Social Media Examiner and his social presence to create a buzz for the launch. Some of the main things, he had a specific launch page with multiple steps, visual assets, and he even used a thunderclap campaign. So thunderclap allows you to schedule updates among your followers so you can create a thunder of impact on the scheduled date. So maybe you have 200 people that all tweet at this one specific time, and it really tries to generate more of a buzz. So if you are launching something and you do have some assets or you're interested in the social side of things, good post to check out. Now with that being said, that will end the Friday reload for this week. Check back hopefully over this weekend. I'm hoping to bring another shortcast episode. Also Tuesday, as normal, we'll have another awesome interview and podcast. Appreciate you bearing with me. I don't know what's going on with this cough, but I will get it fixed, get it checked out. As always, reach out to me on Twitter @DigTrig. And thanks a lot for listening. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Friday day, get a lot of work done, and then relax and enjoy your weekend. Take care.